All right. Hi, everyone. My name is 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻. I'm a mechanical engineering student at Madison. I'm in my senior year. Today, I'm going to be telling you about MedWings. This is my startup and a capstone project I've been working on for the past year. The drone in front of you is used to deliver what's called an AED in emergency scenarios. An AED is a automated external defibrillator. So folks out there, 357,000 people have a cardiac arrest every year outside of a hospital in the U.S., and 90% of those are fatal. This tool, the AED, has the ability to shock the patient's heart back into a rhythm and give them a chance at survival. But the caveat there is that we have to get it there as quickly as possible. With an average response time of an ambulance being 8 to 10 minutes, you lose about a 10% chance of survival with each passing minute. So by the time we arrive on scene, it's often too late. And that's where the drone comes in. It gets it there within 3 minutes. And we've prototyped what something could look like in Dane County. And it's very promising results to show how many lives we could save every year. Yeah.
What did you learn in CS-Net?
I learned, I think that you got to come back to your core message. Often I was asking you, Grant, lots of advice or your thoughts, and you always asked me back, what are you trying to do here? And I said, well, we're really trying to save lives. And he said, keep that at the focus. Whatever gets you closest to getting these drones in the air and saving lives is what matters most. And I keep that message with me every time I have thoughts or concerns.
So what I'm working on is an entity matching solution. So imagine that you're a company and you have two data sets. You might need to join them so you can do data science on them, or just for any multitude of reasons. You need to have a fast and accurate way to do that. So what we're doing is building that solution. So other solutions are optimized for accuracy or scale. Ours is built for both. What did you learn in CS-Net? I learned, first to take it one step at a time. Don't try to rush to the end product. Take the MVP first, get it out there, talk to people, and listen to what they're really saying to determine if there's really a need for what you're creating.
Act is an all-encompassing platform for students to use on the daily.
The problem here is that there are so many exciting events happening around the campus, and students are often overwhelmed by them, and they have difficulty discovering all the events happening that match their interests.
So the way we solve this is we have one app for everything. So we provide clubs and students with an all-encompassing app, so there's no need for Flare and Slack and GroupMe and all these other apps, because we have the internal communication, but we also have the social media aspect, so you can see all events happening on campus with a map as well, so you'll never need to open up another app. So I think what we learned is we got a lot of structure, because starting your own business can be really scary and there's no direction and no one really telling you what to do. So CS provided that structure for us and taught us to sell before we build, and customer outreach is the most important thing. So that's what I learned.
Yeah, and I would also share that CS-Net is a place where you can connect with so many like-minded students. Me and Trinity met at CS-Net, and it's a really great program that not only you can talk to great mentors, but also share what you found, what you've done with students, and learn from them.
And through CS-Net, we met each other.
Hey guys, I'm 𝐟𝐸𝐻, and I'm one of the co-founders of my app, Flux. What Flux is basically a connecting platform for student entrepreneurs and other students on campus. We provide fast-paced connections using the Tinder aspect, and we provide the professionalism of LinkedIn. For example, you are a student entrepreneur who has an idea, and let's take a software developer who's looking for someone with an idea to work on. They both come on this platform, and using our AI algorithm, they can perform their matches, and on a quick yes-no swipe basis, we'll give them the connections that they need. We have a quick app demo of how our app actually functions.
So when you launch the app and you go through the onboarding flow, it asks you a bunch of details about you, like where you study, whether or not you have an idea or startup already. It also asks you what skills you have, and also what skills you're looking for in a co-founder. And you can also, the most important part, you can upload a resume, and it summarizes the most key points on your resume to build your entire profile for you. So you can make the onboarding process as simple and easy as possible. And then you just log in with your credentials or whatever. So let me just log in with my profile and show you what it looks like. So when you log in, it shows you other people's profiles that you can swipe left and right on. So if you like someone's profile, you can swipe right on them. Like, let's say I like the web application this guy made. So I'll just swipe right. And let's say I don't like this guy's profile, I can swipe left. So when they see my profile and they swipe right on me, it means that we both mutually like each other and it's going to form a new connection. And after that, I can go to the connections tab and I can chat with them and probably build a new startup with them that'll take off like really well. So that's basically a demo of what we are.
During the whole CSNS project, we learned so much, especially the fact that the customer is king and how much Grant supported us and kept on pushing us to get as much feedback as possible from all our customers by doing the beta testing, and that helped us improve the app so much, and we're going to continue doing the same as well.
My key takeaway from CSNS would be how important the product itself is, like how good the design has to be to get people on board on the app, I guess.
Again, yeah, same. One of the key takeaways was to build a solid MVP and get it out to as many people as possible and get the best feedback. And using those feedback, we make changes onto our app, and that's how we worked on getting this app ready.
For me, I think coding and building the app was the easy part. What I really learned from CSNest was how to talk to people and get them to know about your stuff, what you're building, and how to like pitch in a way to actually convince them to use your thing. So that's what I learned mostly.
I feel like these guys condense the points quite like effectively, but for me, I'd say building the whole the pitch deck and the market size and all of that is probably one of my key takeaways from CSNS.
Hi, so our idea is Velos. We're a forecasting app for restaurants. And so I just want you to imagine that you're a restaurant owner in Madison, let's say a Met Cafe. You don't know how many people will come in on a specific day, and that uncertainty will sort of throw everything off. And so what we do is we help you predict foot traffic, and that'll allow you to order the right amount of ingredients so you don't have any food waste, and also schedule your staff efficiently so you don't lose out on sales or like over hire on a certain day or like overwork your employees. And that's essentially what we do, but we also kind of predict what food will be ordered on a specific day, allowing for better pantry organization and faster prep, and also provide like promotional strategies to help you do better on like game days or like basically sell your stuff better on certain days and reduce waste overall. And yeah, I think we can move on to the questions.
So during my time at CSNest, I think the biggest thing that I learned is that the thing that matters the most is the action. Without taking the action, whatever ideas that you have, whether it's, you know, a great idea like Facebook or, you know, it's like a failing idea, you wouldn't know unless you take that action, unless you do your customer discovery interviews, unless you build your demo, you talk to your customers, you wouldn't know. So that's pretty much the biggest thing that I learned is that action matters.
The biggest thing I learned from CSNest is presentability. I used to dress kind of like a hobo before, and I realized that investors seeing me will then think the idea is a hobo idea. So I wanted to dress nice to also show that the idea is nice.
So let's meet the team. My name is 𝐬𝐡𝐚𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐛𝐬𝐜. I'm a student here graduating in 2 weeks, which is more than crazy, but I'm a double major of finance and real estate, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of 𝐸𝐻𝐾.
Yeah, my name is 𝐬𝐻𝐾𝐭. I'm also a senior, and I'm an electrical engineering student here.
So what's the founding story? I've spent the past 2 summers working in New York at Morgan Stanley in their real estate private equity group. It's a picture of me in Times Square, which is very cool. And I bring this up as a precursor to why this idea came to life. But also, you'll see some logos right here, and I mention this because I love what I do, but this is just my day job. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and these companies range from a failed skincare dropshipping company to a successful real estate syndication in which we have over $300,000 in management right now. So what is the issue? Microsoft Excel is inefficient. The world financial system is run on Microsoft Excel, LBOs, financial models, pro formas. The stories are true. When you work in banking, you might spend 90 hours a week working, and the majority of that is spent in Microsoft Excel. Now, when you're doing these shortcuts to make Excel efficient, there's inefficiency still. It makes it very inaccessible to a lot of people, and also legacy hardware companies lack the financial expertise to actually create a physical product that would make Excel optimized on the keyboard. So some key changes. What you see in front of you are two real keyboards. Now, if you ever have the chance to go in a bank and walk around, you'll notice some very peculiar things. This top keyboard is my vice president's, and this bottom is my senior associate's. There's physical keys removed. Now, when you're executing all of these different types of shortcuts, hitting a different key will bring up a dialog a window that you can only click off with your mouse. And when you're working 90 hours a week, time is of the essence, obviously. So with this being said, finance is also a very attrition-focused industry. People go for 2 years and stay, and then they leave. And even though this isn't a big cost to replace these keyboards, it's still frictional. Now, these types of keyboards, you can't just put the keys back on. You either take it with you or throw it away. So where did that lead us? To the product. So this is the first Excel optimized keyboard. And I'll get into a little bit of the specific changes. Now, what we have here is the number pad, first of all. Now, when you're using Excel, you never use the row of numbers. It's always the number pad because it's faster. And there's a few inefficiencies. Now we've included the backspace key and the tab key. And now, if you look up here, you'll notice a little joystick toggle. Now, this is really important because when you're navigating these LBOs, they might be pages and pages and pages long. And your prior alternative was to click, click, click. And it takes forever, it really does. So this joystick toggle, you'll be able to slide with your thumb and maneuver the sheets more efficiently. This row of hotkeys right here, these blank keys, you'll be able to hold Alt and press one of these keys and bind it to your favorite shortcut. Alt-HOI is no longer Alt-HOI. It's hotkey number 1. So it makes co-working really easy because there's currently macros where your vice president can change their bindings. Theirs might be Alt-HOR and yours is Alt-HOI. When they come over and work at your desk, it gets confusing and it takes up a lot of time. So how did we come to right here?
Yeah, so before we even got to this point, we started with some very primitive prototypes, which included a store-bought keyboard that you could reprogram, and we swapped around some keys and decided what we liked. With that, I also programmed a joystick using an Arduino microcontroller to get the feel that we wanted there. While we had that, we were able to test out various positions for the joystick as well, and found out that we liked it right next to the arrow keys the best because you didn't even have to move your right hand from the number pad in order to use your thumb to maneuver around. So once we got that led me here, I learned how to create a PCB for this project, and I developed this, and it just recently got ordered and just came in the mail earlier this week. So we have version 1 of our product. Yeah, so these PCBs cost very little to make, and you can get them manufactured and assembled and shipped to you directly. We understand that while Excel is ubiquitous right now, with AI entering the workforce, it may decrease in popularity in the future. But we're hopeful that this market is quite large and untapped. And so that brings us to our final slide where we show what we're targeting. The most obvious is the just direct consumer, the individuals like IO who work at these large banks and use Excel every day. But thinking beyond that, if we started partnering with universities and these corporations, there's a huge potential.
So thank you so much. This is 𝐴𝐴𝐺 patent pending.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐿. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering here at UW-Madison. I'm also a nationally certified EMT, and I've been working with EMS now for the past 6 years. I've been tinkering with drones really all my life, and a year ago I started a senior capstone project, and that's called MedWings. So today I'm excited to share with you what we've built. So each year, 357,000 people in the United States experience what's called a cardiac arrest. And it's one of the most urgent medical conditions one can face because your heart has stopped, you're unconscious. And with every passing minute that goes by from that moment on, you lose about a 10% chance of living. But there's a device out there, it's called AED, and I have one with me today. This is an automated external defibrillator. And this groundbreaking medical device has the ability to shock the patient's heart back into life, and we can really save a lot of lives with that. The problem is we need to get these there sooner because 7 out of 10 of these happen outside of a hospital in a patient's home. And with the national response time for an ambulance being 8 to 10 minutes, by the time we arrive on scene, it's often already too late. So if only we had gotten that device there sooner, and that's exactly what MedWings aims to do. So when somebody calls 911 for one of these cardiac arrests, we're going to dispatch the ambulance as usual, and they're going to go to the scene, but often it's still not quick enough. And that's where MedWings drone from one of a network of drones within the county or city that these are implemented is able to fly an automated external defibrillator to the scene of the incident within 3 minutes and give that patient a really good chance at surviving. It doesn't wait in traffic, it doesn't need to navigate any roads. It goes as the crow flies as quickly as possible and gives people a really good chance at survival here. The good news is we're already in the skies. This is not just an idea, and we proved through our first test flight on February 20th that we can operate, we can fly, we can deliver these AEDs within real world conditions, even in the cold temperatures that we see here in Wisconsin. And it proves that this system is not only possible, but it's practical. So we've partnered with Vive to bring the smallest, lightest AED on the market and pair it on what is revolutionary technology in the drone industry. The drone's able to fly at speeds over 50 miles an hour because speed really is the most important factor here. It's rugged and it's reliable to face any weather conditions we might face or winds because really we need to get that there through storm and through thick and thin. The AED is simple enough to use by anybody in this room. Often I get asked, I don't know how to use one of these medical devices. It has voice instructions and it has screen instructions to walk you through every step along the way, and what is often a very stressful moment for somebody who's called 911. And it's as simple as removing the pads, putting it on the patient's chest, and the automated part takes over. So there's multiple ways that we can deliver this service to folks across the United States. And that's because EMS works differently whether you're in Dane County, Wisconsin, Texas, wherever you are. But we're able to work with all these models to produce revenue and deliver this service. Whether it's a municipal or EMS contract that's delivering a 911 service in your town, that might be a hospital who has a coverage area or a campus that it's able to cover. And we can also partner with event organizers and athletic events. We often see that cardiac arrest will happen at something like a marathon, hard to reach place. So we can deploy this even on a day-to-day basis for those areas to make sure that anyone is covered. There hasn't been a market for AED drone delivery until now. And that's because three things have really come together at the perfect time. We're at the forefront in healthcare technology where I can bring an AED here on stage that is lighter than a kilogram and we can fly it on a drone. And it's easy enough. Anyone can use it. It has a touch screen. We put it on the fastest drone we can, the best consumer drone that's fast, reliable, able to go through storms. And we're in a US market that's cutting back the red tape when it comes to autonomously flying these drones, installing these networks, but we're also bringing drone manufacturing near shore and away from overseas. And that's what we want to do over these next few years. We want to develop and test our own drone with one thing in mind, and that's speed. Because everything we've learned over the past year has told us that the faster we get these there, the more lives we can save. And we plan on doing that with the strategic partnerships within the drone industry, within the EMS industry, working with the clients that might use this, and people that might be affected, as well as engineers to make this happen. This hasn't been just me, though. There's a team of individuals that have been working on the 𝐶𝐸 project to develop this prototype and make this happen, and we're really pleased with what we've come up with. So that's where you come in. We want you to help us make this a reality. We're seeking not only funding, but partnerships and mentorships and networking with folks in the healthcare within this industry, because really all the help we can get can mean we can save a lot of lives. And we've already seen really promising results through testing and estimates. And there's a lot of interest. And if you can help with that or want to get involved, well, we'd love to talk. So with that, thanks for listening. I'm excited to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Alrighty, well, hello everyone, my name is James.
And I'm Abdullah.
We are 𝐿𝐸RA, where we are building an app to personalize the college dining experience for both students and universities.
Now we want you to imagine freshman Abdullah, who is a Muslim student who only eats halal food, which is a dietary restriction. Imagine Abdullah goes to one of the 6 dining halls here at UW-Madison. He gets in, he takes a look at what's being served, and unfortunately he realizes that there's nothing that's halal on the menu. And so now Abdullah's really sad and stuck wondering, oh my God, what am I going to eat? Because I've just wasted a meal swipe. And the only solution Abdullah has right now, in order for that to never happen again, is to look at the 10, 12 different online menus before coming to a specific dining hall so he knows where the halal food is at. The problem with that is that it takes too long to look at those online menus.
So we did some research into this problem. We surveyed over 1,000 freshmen, conducted over 50 discovery interviews, and we realized that about 2.7 million minutes are spent every single year browsing these menus just here at UW-Madison. We think that's way too much time. We can cut down on that time, but also really improve the user experience of trying to find meals on campus.
And so we went out and started looking for a solution. Really a minimum viable product that would not only prove that this is a problem people are willing to solve, but rather willing to pay us to solve. And so we created a text message system. So based on our users' preferences, we used to send them messages like, hey, grilled cheeseburgers being served at Gordon's Dining Hall for lunch. Beautiful part about this, we only reached this service out to 60 of our beta testers because of how manual this was, and 52 of them were paying us $2 a month.
And so with this validation, we started building an app, and we're calling that app 𝐿𝐸RA. And college students can use this app to get information about the food being served at their dining halls. Information like meal notifications, they don't even have to check the menus. Personalized menus, so instead of checking 5 or 6 different menus, they can input their dietary restrictions, get back one unified menu, instead of having to flip through all those other ones. And then lastly, nutrition tracking.
And dining services will love this as well, because when students select their favorites, select their dietary restrictions, and log meals every day, unlike our competitors who get static data, 𝐿𝐸RA gets real-time data that allows these dining services to make data-driven menu optimization. So optimize their menus based on what their students are wanting to eat and are actually eating. And on top of that, we allow dining services to measure nutritional equity and inclusivity metrics, so they're able to serve their students with dietary restrictions as best as possible.
So here's some screenshots of the app that we just launched. On the left, you can see a screenshot of the menu view. Then you can see the filters panel. Then the My Liked Meals page. That's how you can search for meals and turn on notifications for them. And then lastly, that personalized menu builder. And then launching very soon is our nutrition tracking feature.
And we're very proud to say that we've got incredible traction. In the fall, we created a waitlist page where we got over 1,000 signups. We earned revenue from our paid MVP. Just recently, we launched at Iowa State, gained over 1,000 unique visitors there, all with a $0 marketing budget. We have over 100,000 views on Reddit, and we recently won first place in a pretty big competition called Transcend.
So right now, we are completely free for students to use. We're launched at Iowa State, we're scraping their data. We're doing this to build our brand reputations that we can eventually sell to universities. We're targeting a price of about $2 per student per month. That's based off research we did with FOIA requests. University will pay this fee. It'll still be completely free for the students to use. It'll give us a very stable, recurring stream of revenue.
And our bottom-up market analysis reveals a global addressable market of $5.3 billion and a US addressable market of $435 million. And with our very strong traction, very high demand, 𝐿𝐸RA is well positioned to grow substantially in this market. And we believe we're the perfect team to do this because I'm Abdullah Khan, the CEO. I'm a sophomore and a mechanical engineering major here.
My name is James. I'm the CTO of 𝐿𝐸RA. I am a senior and I'm a computer science major here at UW-Madison.
And we've got incredible news because just yesterday we met the chancellor of UW-Madison. Yeah. Wait, we gotta talk. Wait, 5 minutes are gonna go. Do talk about that, judges. But yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, that's all we have. If you'd like to check us out or view a demo, you can scan that QR code. The app is live. Thank you guys so much for your attention. We look forward to your questions, judges.
Hi, my name is 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. I am the founder and CEO of Boxmate, where we want affordable student storage in apartments, not warehouses. So the problem, it started freshman year, when I realized a little too late that I needed some form of summer storage because my home was 22 hours away by flight back in India, and I just had a little too much. So the first thing I do, I talk to my friends about it. My friends were equally as clueless as me. So the next thing I do after that was go online, and we found 𝐬𝐮𝐫𝐿, which was $30 up front, and we all booked with 𝐬𝐮𝐫𝐿. Fast forward to the next semester, when I get the bill, when they delivered my stuff back, it was not the $300 per person. So we ended up paying more than $1,000 per person. And for me, I felt like, why am I paying so much for stuff that was not even worth that much? After that, I spoke to my new roommate and I asked him what he did for summer service. He told me he stored it at a frac. I asked him what price. He said $60. And I was like, I should have just done this. So digging a little deeper, I found that there are a lot of international students in the US, not just international students. We've got out-of-state students as well who require some form of summer storage. And the number one factor that affects our decision making is price, because we pay the full price of tuition, and it has been increasing ever since. Sophomore year, I got an internship, so I thought I will sublease my space. It wasn't a great apartment. I did not end up getting anyone to sublease to, because there were 100 other students who were trying to sublease their apartment, because nobody stays on college campuses over the summer. And that's when I realized there's another problem, which is the subleasing problem. So there's a lot of supply, there's a lot of free space, there's a lot of people who want some form of summer storage. I connected the two, and we came up with a solution. We built a platform where users can essentially be hosts, students, where they can rent out free space to make money when they're renting, and students can save money when they're storing flexibly. Before I go on with the rest of the pitch, we've already done $5,000 in revenue with just 25 students last summer. We filled out both the apartments that we had. We also won $5,000 in Transcend, and we've had more than 70 plus signups. This is a little old. We expect 100 people to register with us, and we've already started taking bookings for this summer. The market opportunity is pretty huge. There are 19 million students in the US, taking a rough estimate of 5.6 million students, that is 30% of them. The total annual market size is $1.4 billion annually. The SAM in just UW-Madison is $2.5 billion annually, and the SOM that we can achieve is $1.25 billion annually. The product, you can also scan the flyers to see it. It's a 3-step process. We've figured out the legal stuff, we've spoken to lawyers. You come to our website, you select the location and storage period, you pay for just the first month after you fill out the items that you want to store, and that's it. The business model is also quite simple. We charge a commission, a 30% transaction commission from the host, and the main part is selling premium insurance. I want to scale it. There are 6,000 colleges in the US. I want to scale it to 500 because that is where that is the unique proposition that I have. I can scale it to a lot of universities very fast. With $30 per person per month, we can make almost $27 million in revenue by 2027. Our go-to-market strategy is also quite simple. We need to balance the supply side and the demand side of Boxmate. We will be reaching out to people on Facebook Marketplace. We'll be reaching out to students on using student clubs. So our social media is already up, and email campaigns, the best way to reach out to both sides. With competition, we beat everyone at price. The best part is we beat everyone because we have very low setup costs. This is why I'm doing Boxmate. These are the people why I'm doing Boxmate. Ankit Modi came to me last summer and he thanked me for Boxmate because he found this service really valuable and it was on campus, and it is not just passion for me, it is actually solving a problem, and I will be doing this in the future as well. The founding team consists of me. I have a great team behind this. We have people working on software, but I'm an electrical engineer, electrical engineering major. I also do CS. I've interned at the Space Science and Engineering Center before, also interned at Tiro Product Development, had a startup before this, and yeah, thank you.
Today, I want to introduce you to MedMatcher, a solution for fast and accurate entity matching. So, to put the problem into scope, Gartner research said that every year, poor data quality costs organizations an average $12.9 million. A quality entity matching software, though, can help alleviate some of this cost. So let's look at what entity matching is and why it's used. Let's say that you're a data scientist at a department store. You want to use data science and AI to better understand your data and build models for the future. However, before you can do any of this, you need to combine all of your data sets into a singular unified data set. And this often requires joining instances across them. For example, let's say you have an orders table, and in the orders table you have a record with the name David Smith. Then in the customers table you have a record with the name Dave M. Smith. In reality, these could be the same person, David M. Smith. And you need to be able to combine them. This information could be different because of typos, nicknames, anything. And this problem isn't just unique to this specific scenario. It can also be used by any research group or company that has two tables. So this is where the solution comes in. There are existing solutions on the market. Some use deep learning and AI to be very accurate, but they don't scale well. Others use handcrafted rules, and they scale really well, but they're not accurate. MedMatcher is unique because we use AI and we use Spark, which is a technology that allows us to parallelize this processing so we can both be accurate and scale well. So another unique part of our solution is that it builds on over 10 years of research from right here in the computer science department at UW-Madison and has yielded 19 publications at top conferences. Additionally, the software has been implemented in domain science groups including economics, land use, biomedicine, and limnology, as well as companies including American Family Insurance, Walmart, and 𝐬𝐝_Health, to name a few. In fact, the research has been so successful that a few years back they created a startup called Green Bay Technologies. Informatica then acquired them back in 2020, and the founding team came back to UW-Madison to develop new software and are now working with us on this startup. So here are the two core products that we offer, SparkMatcher and CloudMatcher. SparkMatcher is for somebody who's more technical and knows how to use Spark. They'll download the software, create a Spark cluster, plug in their two data sets to that code, and it will end up with one match data set. CloudMatcher is for somebody who's not as technical. All they need to do is go to a website, plug in two tables, and get the matched output. Although it might be more work, SparkMatcher can be beneficial to companies who don't want to send their data anywhere and also want some more flexibility on how it's processed. So our revenue model consists of three parts. First, we'll have open source code so that people can check out our solution before they decide to use it. Then, for the premium features, we're going to have user integrations with data warehouses, we're going to have managed services, and also we're going to have a user interface that makes it really clean and easy for people to use. Lastly, we'll offer consulting to companies who want to see how to fit entity matching into their data integration pipeline. So our market consists of the global data integration market, which is valued at about $15.2 billion and is expected to grow 12% annually for the next 5 years. Of that, the US entity resolution market is about $4 billion, so if MedMatcher can capture 1% of that US entity resolution market, we're looking at $40 million per year. So who are we? My name's Dave, and I am the founder of MedMatcher. I did my undergraduate at UC Berkeley, where I majored in computer science and completed a certificate in entrepreneurship and technology. And here at Madison, I'm a graduate student in the CS department. I'm advised in this endeavor by Anja Doan and Derek Paulson. Anja is a professor here at UW-Madison and was previously at UIUC. He was also a chief scientist at Walmart Labs and a VP at Informatica. Derek Paulson is a PhD student here at UW-Madison, planning to graduate. Both of them have been working on this problem for several years and we're two of the members of the Green Bay Technology startup. So I'm very fortunate to have them in my corner. So our current plan is to first release our open source code, which should be out in a couple weeks once we wrap up documentation. Second, we're going to be reaching out to data science groups and LinkedIn groups to get some more customers. And thirdly, we're going to grow out our premium feature set. So, to recap, entity matching is a ubiquitous and pervasive problem in data science, data integration, and AI. MedMatcher is unique because we use AI and scaling technology to enable us to both be accurate and fast. And lastly, we bring over 10 years of research and startup experience to this project. So, if you or anyone you know could be interested in learning more about our solution, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you very much.